During a time of great prosperity and peace in the flourishing garden of Islam, when philosophers and scholars excelled all others in the quality of their writing, and scientists and inventors devised the most marvelous of innovations, adventurers and travelers would go where none of their kind had gone before. Around the year 1529, Ming Emperor Shizong burnt hundreds of logbooks, the final act in destroying evidence of China's supremacy in naval power. Lost for more than 500 years, accounts of a mighty Chinese armada were rediscovered in Fujian province in the 1930s. Etched on a pillar, they told of gigantic ships laden with gifts for distant kings, from whom the Ming Emperor exacted tribute in return. Between 1405 and 1433, the treasure fleet set out on 7 voyages into the unknown. At the helm of these vast armadas was a 2-meter-tall warrior navigator, the Muslim admiral of the fleet, Zheng He. By the end of his final voyage, his fleet had covered over 50,000 kilometers, having anchored in the most famous ports of the time. From China to India, from the Arabian Sea to the east coast of Africa, Zheng He led his ships further than anyone before. Following the religion of Islam, young Zheng grew up in Kunyang, part of the then Mongol Empire. But his boyhood life was to change on his 11th birthday. In 1382, when imperial Ming armies conquered Kunyang, Zheng was captured and made a eunuch page of a prince, Zhu Di. As fortune would have it, when Zhu Di seized the Chinese throne, Zheng He became his confidant. First rebuilding the Great Wall, Zhu Di then embarked on a massive shipbuilding program and appointed Zheng He as Admiral of the Western Seas, ordering him to go beyond the horizon. Comprising almost 28,000 men and over 300 ships known as swimming dragons, Zheng He's fleets included massive treasure galleons, which were technological marvels of the age. 400 feet long and 160 wide, with 9 masts, they were almost 5 times the size of Portuguese caravels, which would sail into the Indian Ocean only 50 years later. With a crew of 1,000 men, the ships took enough food to last them for years at sea, and included tubs of earth on deck so that vegetables and fruit could be grown. Beneath were kept the treasures with which to impress their hosts, while within watertight holds, horses were stowed for the cavalry. Zheng He often astonished his emperor by returning with extravagant tributes, of which the most amazing was acquired on his 4th voyage in 1414. In the kingdom of Bengal, Zheng persuaded the ruler to part with an animal given him by an African king. To much excitement, when the giraffe arrived at the imperial court in Beijing, the emperor's philosophers celebrated it as the fabled unicorn, an animal associated with an age of peace and prosperity. Now a hero, Zheng He set sail for his 4th and most ambitious voyage, to Arabia, where he fulfilled his personal pilgrimage to Mecca and finally reached Africa, stopping at Mogadishu, Mombasa and Zanzibar. Thought to have traveled as far south as the Mozambique Channel, Zheng He vastly outdid his Western contemporaries in their own age of exploration. Could he have even rounded the Cape of Good Hope and gone as far as America, as some historians claim? But after his death at sea on his 7th and final trip in 1433, a new emperor assumed the throne of the Ming dynasty and began to dismantle Zheng's navy, with the effect that China went from being a superpower into isolation. Yet Zheng He's epic voyages of adventure are remembered by porcelain shards which still wash up on the beaches of East Africa, and the etchings on the pillar left in a temple signed by the Admiral of the Western Seas.